this morning I had the very unfortunate displeasure of listening to Femi Adesina as he spoke about this issue. And I saw insensitivity at a time when he should have been very sensitive. I saw him when they asked him about ancestral land. He said, it is better to live on top than in the ground. I found him extremely insensitive. This is the spokesman of a country that is mourning. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have heard the narrative coming out of government. Government has said to us that the people who are perpetrating these crimes are not Nigerians. And yet in the same breath, government says to us to open up and live with them. Mr. Speaker, if they are not Nigerians and they're invading our land, then it means that we're opening up our land to foreign militia. It is war, Mr. Speaker. You cannot ask us to live with people in one breath and tell us that these people are not Nigerians. At the end of the Civil War, government had deliberate policies for integration. What were those deliberate policies? NYSC, federal schools, so that there would be integration and the children would grow up knowing that we were one country. I do not see any direct integration policies except to say, live in peace. Mr. Speaker, I do not believe that that is the way to go. In the words of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, he said, man must put an end to war, or war will put an end to man. That is our responsibility as government. Mr. Speaker, Babangida has to wake up to his responsibilities. If indeed these people are not Nigerians, then let us check the borders, let us check the porous nature, let us come up with serious programs of action against the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues have spoken about the security chiefs. I must lend my voice to that. Mr. Speaker, finally, my program of action is to us as citizens of Nigeria. I would ask that all of us go and watch 2 movies, Hotel Rwanda and One Night in April. Nigeria dances very dangerously on the brink. Then in Rwanda, it was the radio that made them dehumanize people. Now it is our telephones and social media. Social media caused the Arab Springs. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have taken to passing around stories, images that will never heal this country. I know that it is very painful, but let me say that over 80% of the users of social media are below the age of 30. 35% of that number are below the age of 18. Mr. Speaker, even if we were to stop the killing today, hatred, suspicion, divisiveness is etched into the DNA of the next generation. It will take this country at least 40 years for us to start to look at ourselves in the way that we did. I would ask that mainstream media should please have responsible reportage. And as we send these pictures around, we should make sure it is true. We should make sure it doesn't fan the embers of hatred. We should make sure that as much as possible as citizens, we do not suffer from the tragedy of the incomplete narrative.